How would you describe what you guys just did in the last couple hours?
Good. We had some good practices. I mean, like, guys are getting sick of playing each other. You know what I mean? That happens in camp, but we need to still work through a couple things. But I think the offense had a really good day today compared to what there was last week, and we'll just keep getting better as a team.
What made the difference offensively? It was just what were they doing?
I think they're just starting to gel together, and we had a lot of installs, so I think they're starting to settle a little bit more. And our quarterbacks are taking advantage of seeing the field. Ty's doing a great job with them, and I think the run game's starting to come together too. And the O-line's starting to work together. We have a bunch of different lineups at O-line, and we were able to stay a little bit more consistent today. So I think we had some good results.
Is there more scoring today than as opposed to Saturday?
A little bit more. I mean, we also held out some guys on defense, you know, that didn't really need much of the work. I don't know how much Fred Warner needs to do out there, and you know, we didn't really have Jamal run the ball much as far as the live situation stuff, but for the most part, it was really good work. I think everyone got better, and the offense had a little bit more success this week than last week, but I don't know exactly who to call won the day. I think it was pretty even.
Which quarterback stood out? Which of the two starting quarterbacks?
Taysom and Tanner stood out.
How much movement?
Taysom and Tanner and Taysom in that order. So.
How much movement is there on the depth chart after a certain practice, or maybe after an experience like today?
A lot. I mean, I think this weekend, as we start to work through some things, I think we'll, you know, when we take the field on Monday, I think we'll be solidified in most spots, and we'll see what happens.
You've talked about taking advantage of whatever advantages you can as far as, you know, keeping practices closed and things like that. Is there an advantage to not publicly naming a starting quarterback in that sense?
I think maybe, but I mean, maybe for Rich Rod it is, you know, but for us it doesn't really. I think it'll be beneficial for us to have a starting quarterback announced as soon as we can, and hopefully we get that done in the next little bit.
What's been your thoughts on Riley Burt so far?
He's an explosive runner. You know, we need to get him more reps, and it's difficult to do that when you have Jamal and you know, Squally and Algie and you know, I know I'm forgetting somebody, and Trey. Those guys getting a lot of the reps. So I think he's a rep guy, and hopefully in the next few weeks he was able to get some reps today, and hopefully as we start getting further down the line next week should be a good day for him to solidify the second, third, and fourth running back spots.
How is Harvey Longy's kind of experiment at defensive end? I don't know what you want to term that.
The experiment's a success. I mean, I've been wanting to move into DN since I got here, and I think the timing just worked out well for us, and he's a bigger body, so I think that for him it just made sense to just eat freely and gain weight rather than, you know, fast and diet. So most people would rather take that, wouldn't we? So yeah, so I think Harvey's no different than any of us, and I think that his skill off the edge is really vital for our defense to work well.
How's the kicking game coming along? Anyone emerging there?
Not really. I mean, it's a little slow with the place kicking. I mean, you know, obviously we have Johnny, but I think everything's good with snaps and holds. We just need to get the right guy on the field, and we have a number of guys. I mean, out of the 4, hopefully we get that figured out next week.
How are you feeling about the receiving core? How are they coming together?
Good. I mean, obviously when we get Nick back and we get some of the other guys that were dinged up in camp back, it'll be good for us. But I'm really liking the newcomers and seeing some of the guys take advantage of the reps, you know, that they're getting. And so, yeah, Jonah Trineman gives us a lot of speed. Bo Tanner does some really good things for us as well. And Leva Heath will do great things for us. So those new guys coming in, I think will help us out. And they're joining a really good, experienced cast that I think have a lot of ability and size.
Do you think Nick will be back for that opening that week?
Yeah, he'll be fine. Or maybe I should hold off on that. I'll be making an announcement pregame about Nick Kurtz.
Has anybody emerged at that starting corner opposite Michael Davis?
Oh, well, the guys that are out there in the battle are basically Akile Davis, and then you have Troy Warner, Isaiah Armstrong, and Chris Wilcox. So I don't know. Out of those 4 names, we really feel good with the 4 or 5 corners that we have, and Diane Lake's in the mix as well. So, you know, we'll see which one emerges. It's like they have good days and bad days, and the most consistent guy will start the game.
What's the best mixture on a coaching staff between the yellers, the coaches that get after guys, maybe the coaches who are maybe not quite as vocal in their teaching?
I think as long as they can teach, that's all that matters, and respect the kids that they work with. That's all I look forward to, and have a sense of humor, obviously. But yeah, I just want our coaches to just connect with these young men and teach them more than just football, just stuff about life and care about them. And as long as you can do that, just be yourself. If you have that characteristic, then just be yourself, and I think it'll be fine. I'm okay with the teaching style that our guys have, and I think it's really effective, especially when you have a foundation of care and love.
I'd imagine some players respond differently to different stimuli as well. I mean, some coaches respond better, players respond better to getting yelled at.
Yeah, and that's up to the coach to find the motivation behind it. But I think communicating is the most important thing, and being honest with these young men. And we have a bunch of coaches that do that, and they're all really effective.
How comforting is it to know that you've got two really solid safeties?
Oh yeah, that feels great for me to have those safeties and then have guys behind them. I mean, I think Micah and Kai are doing some great things, but I think Eric Takanaka can play. He can start for us as well, and you have Hadley and Zane Anderson's coming along. So we have a lot of good players, and Ed's done a great job with that group, and so I feel really comfortable with the depth there. There's some places I don't feel great about the depth, but that's one that I feel comfortable with.
What places don't you feel comfortable?
What was that? Well, the
places
kicking,
don't-
because we don't have a starter, and then we're still looking for a fourth quarterback. So let us know.
Are you expecting?
Nice one, try.
Are you
Good try.
expecting Brad Wilcox back when school starts?
Still tough to say. I don't know. That's I don't have much to say about that.
You touched on the kickers, but also the rest of the special teams coverage, returning. How are those areas showing up right now?
Oh, it's going well. Being able to get the live looks is huge for us, and I feel good about a punt game and our kickoff KOR, and obviously our PT field goal. All we're missing is a kicker that can be consistent, and we should be on our way.